Welcome in, guys. Another edition of Right on Rangers Live. And we are going to finish out this Rangers game with you. We love to do this every time the Rangers and the Astros get together. So right now, bottom of the eighth inning, Rangers are ahead 12-8 at this point. Bottom of the eighth, Alvarez up to bat, Robertson in the game, pitching in relief for the Rangers. So we'll finish out the bottom of the eighth and the ninth inning with you. We'll try and do this a couple of times during the Astros series. Lone Star Series is always a special one. This is a ballpark that Texas has played quite well in of late, and they continue to do so tonight. Alvarez just retired. Leote, nice running catch. Kind of a left center field shot right before the track. Great defensive play by Leote. Tucker up now. Man, did y'all see Tucker and a little bit of that sass, that back talk after that home run he hit? Tell you what, you had a situation where Alvarez was hit by Brock Burke coming in, and next batter, Tucker comes up, hits a monster shot to right field, upper decker. Had a few words for Burke after hitting his teammate in the batter before. We'll see how that plays out the rest of the series. To be fair, a couple of the Rangers players did have some close calls. Langford, of course, was hit on the elbow. Garcia had a couple of pitches high and tight. Who knows there? Maybe there's something there, maybe there's not, but the reality is it's always going to be contentious with these two teams. It just always is. Tucker hits a super, super hard shot to first base. Great play by Jared Walsh. That ground ball had to have been, I'll see if I can figure it out, that had to have been 105 plus. Great play by Jared Walsh. Flips it to Robertson. And the Rangers take care of business in the bottom of the eighth. So we are on to the ninth inning. Rangers leading the Astros 12-8. And this is the first of a 3-game set, closing out on Sunday. Astros made a push in the bottom of the seventh inning. They played it about 5 runs. Wasn't the Rangers' best pitching performance in that inning, but I doubt you'll be shocked if I tell you the pitchers that came in and were a part of the 5 runs. So let's start with Brock Burke, right? And then Grant Anderson, I think, came in and mopped up Brock Burke's mess. Brock Burke just, Evan Grant tweeted something out. Evan Grant, one of the top Rangers reporters, that Brock Burke just looks broken out there. And I don't like to get too negative about players, but he really does. I mean, there's a reason Brock Burke was pitching in, a 12-3, 12-5 ball game. It's because things like the 7th inning for the Astros happen. A 5 spot magically pops up after a game where the Astros were pretty much limited for a majority of the game. So Brock Burke, I don't know what the Rangers are going to do with him. Probably keep pitching him in mop-up duty. Probably the 7th, 8th inning of a game that's double digits. At this point, that's about the only scenario where I feel really safe with Brock Burke coming in the ball game. Leclerc came in. I think he got out of the inning unscathed without any runs given up. That being said, of course, had to give up a single and a walk before getting the job done. Struck out the first batter, struck out the last batter, but hit, walk, sandwiched in between. So Leclerc, again, just can we get a clean inning? I just don't know why that eludes Leclerc so much. I know this is such a low-pressure situation, and maybe guys are a little bit less in tune, but at the same time, when you have got every single appearance base runners on, that's concerning. You got to at least be able to have a clean inning once in a while. So I really hope that Leclerc can run into a stretch where he's retiring 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's just like clockwork. But right now, the guy just can knock it out of an inning without walking somebody or giving up a hit. What's up, by the way, to all the people in the chat? Appreciate y'all stopping by. We're just finishing out the Rangers game right now. I got it up on my iPad, and we'll finish it out. It's the top of the ninth. Hader is actually in the ball game right now, which really surprises me. But they must need to get him some work in. The Astros just got clobbered by the Royals for 3 straight games. Pretty much every game was a blowout. So I really doubt that Hader was in any of those games. So it kind of makes sense that they want to get him involved here. First batter looks like Jared Walsh just struck out on a check swing, 3 pitches. And just like that, actually 4 pitches, a couple of swinging strikes. So right now, Leody up to bat. Leody is actually the only Ranger without a hit tonight. Everybody else in the lineup, minus some of the guys that are subbing in. I think Wenzel just subbed in for Seager. Wenzel playing third base. Josh Smith moves over to shortstop. Taveras, the only player without a hit tonight. Hopefully he can get it right here. Not the most ideal pitcher to get it off of, but that's how baseball goes sometimes. You've been having a bad night. You face the best possible pitcher that you could face, and you get a base knock. So here's hoping for Leody right now. 2-1 count, 1 out, top of the ninth. Rangers up 12-8. We'll get into all our breakdown and analysis after the game comes to a close. Pretty much a pitch right down the middle. Leody foul straight back. So he's on it. 2-2 count now. This has been a fun game, though, for Rangers fans. A lot of offense in this game. Gotta love it. I think I said yesterday on the live, the Rangers just are notorious for doing this. They'll look terrible, absolutely terrible, like the worst offense in baseball, 24 hours prior. And then you get to the game tonight and they look like the best offense in baseball. I mean, they did this all last season and they got hot, obviously, at the right time in the postseason, took it all the way to the World Series championship. And then tonight they go into Houston and they look like the absolute best offense in baseball. That's just how this Rangers team goes sometimes. I sure hope that they can hit a hot streak, though. A little bit less hot and cold, a little bit more consistency, please, for all our sakes. Leody, hard ground ball up the middle. Altuve gloves it, fires over to first base. 2 outs, top of the ninth. Simi up to bat. Ball 1. Simi's had a nice night tonight, 1 for 5. Been on base a couple of different times. We'll check out the box score right now, but Simi actually only on base once. I believe he got that base knock in the middle innings, but right now, looks like it is a 2-0 count. We'll see if he can add on. Just get the Rangers a little extra insurance here. 12-8 ball game, top of the ninth. Welcome in to everybody that's joining us. Oh, my goodness. That ball had to have been probably 105 off the bat, but foul. So Simeon's on it, man. I'll tell you what, he has such a sweet swing when he's driving that baseball. He's hit the ball hard several times tonight. When Marcus Semien is lighting it up for the Rangers, this is just a hard team to stop. Hitting 286 on the season, 2-1 count. Swing and a miss. Probably high and outside pitch, maybe a ball. 2-2, 2 outs, top of the ninth. And if we go down the list, more box score review. Seager's out of the game right now, but he had such a great night. Great to see Siegs bounce back after a very, very rough final game against the Athletics. Seager, golden sombrero yesterday, and it was not pretty. That last at-bat he had against the A's closer, was a little worried about him. It's Seager, so, why should you ever doubt? But he came back tonight, and, man, the first at-bat of the game, just a screamer off the bat. I think it's the hardest hit ball, the one that Seager hit in the first inning, 112 miles an hour off the bat, double. That was right after Semien made the first out, and that kind of got things started. Rangers scored a run. Semien just strikes out, by the way, to end the top of the ninth. So we go to the bottom half, but Seager, really, really good to see him bounce back after a tough game on Thursday. So he had a double tonight, had a single as well, had a walk, on base 3 times, raising that average up to 327. Wenzel takes Seager's place in the lineup. Wenzel hasn't gotten an at-bat yet. Simi 1 for 6 tonight. Ends up. And look, really, the Rangers have been up in this one for quite some time. 6-run third inning for the Rangers. 4-run sixth inning for the Rangers. So by the 6th inning, this one has kind of been on cruise control. But hopefully the Rangers can finish this one out strong. It's really too bad that we had to burn Robertson tonight, the more I think about it. Robertson, by the way, for all y'all keeping up or needing an update, Robertson just came in and pitched the 8th inning. Really would have preferred to not use him tonight. I mean, we're probably going to have much closer games on Saturday and Sunday. I'd like to think, but hey, I'll take 2 more blowouts. I mean, I'm not going to be picky, but it just would have been nice not to use Robertson tonight. I really don't think that they wanted to do that this early on. Let me check the comments out real quick. I got some people on YouTube coming in. What's up, Griff? What's up, Hannah? Thanks for joining in tonight. Right on Rangers Live. We're just finishing out the Rangers-Astros game right now, and it is looking good for the Texas Rangers at this moment in time. Bottom of the 9th. Let's see who we got coming on. Robertson pitched a clean inning, by the way, and no strikeouts, but was able to pitch a clean inning. No base runners, no hits, no walks. So good to see him continuing to pitch well. 1.08 ERA on the year. Robertson just pitched his 800th game. Don't know if y'all saw that. So Yates is in right now to close things out. 12-8 ball game. Leclerc got burned early on in the game. He was, I believe, used in the 6th inning. Dunning went 5 innings. Threw about 80 pitches, but with the game being 12-3, there was really no need to extend Dane Dunning and have him pitch any longer. I would have done the same thing. Could he have gone another inning? Probably. Would have been nice to see him get another quality start, but you know what? At this point, it's a long season. No need to extend Dane Dunning to a 6th inning. So Leclerc came in, 12-3 ball game, kept it 12-3, gave up a couple of base runners. So it's Yates in to close things out. And Yates has looked good so far. 0 ERA for him. And pretty much, I think almost every outing that I've seen Kirby Yates pitch, it's pretty close to 1-2-3. Now, you know I'm about to jinx it. But he just gets the first out. Ground out to Simi. Kind of a ball right up the middle. Simi shading middle. And we get the first out of the inning. So 2 outs away from the victory. John Singleton up to bat. He's 1 for 4 on the night for the Astros. Kirby Yates trying to close this one out. And, you know, speaking of jinxes, in the first inning, that was probably the most tense that this game ever got. I mean, maybe if you want to include the 7th inning where the Astros kind of had that outburst, a couple people got hit. We'll talk about that later. But Kyle Tucker hit a 2-out home run, and it was just right on cue. The Rangers announcers, I was watching the Bally broadcast, and the Rangers announcers, after the Rangers had gone up 1-0, there were 2 outs, and they were like, it sure would be great. Dunning's looking like he's going to get that shutdown inning that the Rangers need after scoring 1 in the top of the first. And then literally 2 seconds later, Tucker just blasts one out. So Tucker, 2 home runs tonight. Hey, hopefully he used up all his home runs in this game. I'll take 2 home runs from Kyle Tucker in a game the Rangers win. And you tell me Kyle Tucker has 2 bombs tonight. You don't tell me anything else. Just Kyle Tucker for the Astros has 2 home runs. I'm not thinking the Rangers are probably going to be up 12-8. I would not have guessed that. You tell me Kyle Tucker has 2 homers. I'm thinking it's probably Astros by a few at that point. So I will say this. If they can somehow find a way to just shut down a few of those guys at the top of the order at a time, I think that works. It's when that there's so many guys that are hitting at the top of the order, Altuve, Alvarez, and then, of course, Tucker. When all 3 of those guys are hitting at the same time, it doesn't matter who's at the bottom of this Astros lineup. It's just hard to beat. We'll go keep going back in and out of the comments. For those of y'all that know, we've got a lot of Got a lot of stuff going on in our lives. We got TikTok going. We got Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, just about everything. So we'll check around the comments periodically. Oh, Josh, what's up, bud? Thanks for joining in. I don't always keep up with all the comments, but guys know I'm so appreciative. Everybody tuning in means a lot. Thank you for the support. Thanks for joining me to talk all things Rangers baseball. Looks like finally I did jinx it. Looks like runner on base at this point. And right now we got Pena up to bat, who's 3 for 4 on the night. And let me check this out here. What happened here? What did we miss while we were checking comments? A walk. So Kirby Yates gives up a walk to John Singleton. Pena up right now, 3 for 4 on the night. 1 out, 1-1 count at this point. So we were talking about Tucker, and hopefully the Rangers can shut him down. It looks like Heaney's going tomorrow, so lefty on lefty matchup. That should bode well for the Rangers facing Tucker. Not sure what Tucker's numbers are against Heaney. I'll look it up while we're closing this game out here. So it looks like Tucker is against Heaney career hitting 091. That's what I wanted to see. Hitting 091 in 11 at-bats. Does have 1 homer. I believe that's the only hit he has is a home run. But 1 hit in 11 at-bats against Heaney. We're talking about Kyle Tucker right now, right fielder for the Astros. Has a couple home runs tonight. Yates is going 3-2 to Pena, so we'll see what happens next here. Don't want things to get too interesting in the bottom of this 9th inning. Not going to lie to you. Don't give me 2 runners on with 1 out. Let's just make this a nice clean, or as clean as possible, 9th inning. Yeah, I'm absolutely wanting to see more of this too. I'm wanting to see Yates potentially lock into this closer spot. And man, he just blew a fastball past Pena for the strikeout. Strike 3. So now Kirby Yates 1 out away. Man, that fastball, little on the inside corner, little elevated, and Pena just could not handle it. That was actually really good setup by Yates. So you had the splitter that he threw away on the 2-2 pitch, went to 3-2. So low and away. And then you go, I wouldn't say high and tight, but you go inside and up a little bit, just changing the level of that ball. And even though it's not 100 miles an hour, just the fact that he's mixing up his pitches and his spots well, he just blows that pitch right past Pena like it was 100 miles an hour. 0-1 count to Dubon right now. 2 outs, runner on first base. We're closing out the Rangers game right now for those of y'all joining in. Yeah, Griff, absolutely. That's a ton of home runs. 2 homers in a game. Anytime you hit 2, huge deal. But hey, we'll take the Rangers overcoming the 2 home runs by Kyle Tucker. But 2 home run night, we'll take the Rangers wasting that 2 home run performance by Kyle Tucker. 1-2 count. Astros down to their last strike. Marcus Dubon up to bat, 2 for 4 tonight. Foul ball. Hopefully Yates will finish this one out, and then we'll really get into our breakdown. Hopefully we can hop on maybe Saturday, tomorrow, or Sunday, do the same thing for these Astros games. We're really going to try and close things out in the 8th or the 9th, watch the rest of the game with you. If there wasn't, dumb copyright stuff, I would gladly put it up for all y'all, but I'm not trying to get banned this early on in this Right on Rangers career. Dubon, another foul ball. He is hanging tight. Making Yates work a little bit. Yates up to 18 pitches on the inning. I will say, look, I'm glad to see Yates in this role, but the Rangers really didn't need to use any of these guys tonight. There was no need in a 12-3 game to have to use Robertson or to have to use Yates. I really wish they could have avoided that. It is what it is, but it really would have been nice to not have to use either one of those top arms tonight in a game that was a 9-run game at one point. But get the win, right? Just get the win. After losing 2 out of 3 to the A's, the last thing you want to do is try to save some arms, and then the Astros come back. That would be the absolute worst. So get the win tonight. Figure it out tomorrow and Sunday. Hopefully Heaney can give you some length, go 5 or 6 innings. That would be stellar. Here's the pitch. Looks like fly ball to right field, Doley camping under it, and that is it, guys. Rangers win 12-8. Believe Dunning is the pitcher of record tonight, getting the win. So Dane Dunning, I think, picking up his second win of the season, if I'm not mistaken. He was the tough luck loser against the Astros last time out. But Dunning with a win tonight. Rangers win 12-8 on 12 hits. Let's go. Love it. We always say anytime the Rangers win and the Astros lose, it is a terrific day. Terrific day. And we'll do a little bit of a look around the AL West. But yes, aren't we all glad, by the way, they brought this song back? I like Texas. Oh, I love it. Man, I'm glad that the fans spoke and they actually listened. That doesn't always happen. That does not always happen. The fans spoke, bring I Like Texas back, and they did. I love it. So, good win tonight. We'll do a little box score review here. We already kind of started getting into it, but let's run through it quick, and then we'll get into some of the big moments and big questions, big topics of the game. But as we look at the box score tonight, Corey Seager 2 for 4 with a walk. Great to see him bounce back. Evan Carter, I did say I want to pat myself on the back just a little bit. I did say in my reel this morning, in my video that I sent out actually early this afternoon, that the rookies were going to come to play tonight. Evan Carter, Wyatt Langford, they had outstanding games tonight. Wyatt Langford, 1 for 3 with an RBI, a walk, a hit by pitch. He was on base 3 times tonight. Evan Carter, 3 for 5, 2-run score with an RBI. So the rookies came to play tonight. It's a beautiful thing. Evan Carter finally got that average above 200. And I think that the Rangers have found the right recipe here. I think Evan Carter does need to be in that 3 spot. We kind of talked about it a little bit. I think it was maybe last night or a couple nights ago. Get Evan Carter back in that 3 spot for now. Wyatt Langford is probably going to be your 3-hole hitter for a very long time. But for right now, take a little pressure off him. Take a little pressure off Langford. Get Carter in there. He's obviously had the postseason experience, got some experience last year. You know Carter's got a great eye at the plate. You know he's not going to give it bats away. It's glad to see Carter in that 3 spot. Really paid off tonight. Carter had a laser double earlier. They're showing Jonah Heim's massive home run shot right now. Upper deck in Houston. Oof, that's pretty to watch. And he just turned on that changeup from JP France. JP France didn't have it tonight. And he got absolutely blasted tonight. And they kind of left him out to dry. I mean, they were talking about it on the broadcast, but JP France, Astros starter tonight, roughed up by the Rangers. I mean, you can't pull him in the first inning. You got a long series. Astros haven't had a day off in a while. They probably got some tired arms. Great game. Yeah, that Heim home run, man. Love to see that from Jonah. That was just an absolute blast. Looks like I'm trying to think if I got the exit velocity on that one. 104, groove, changeup, center cut, little low, and Heim just blasts it, man. That opened up the game. Big moment there. Glad to see Heim starting to click a little bit. Now that we kind of have some injuries, we got obviously Josh Young down here for the past couple weeks. Really nice to see Heim contributing as he is. Had a couple of hits, had a few hits, had a home run against the A's in that series, hitting a home run tonight. Good to see Jonah Heim finding his groove. Real quick, go to some comments here. Favorite baseball player in the Rangers would probably have to say Corey Seager. Just love Corey Seager. World Series MVP, obviously, for the Rangers last year. One of 4 players to win 2 World Series MVPs. And he might be the only guy. Correct me if I'm wrong, if one of y'all know this. I'll look it up and double check myself. But is he the only guy to win it with 2 separate teams? I don't know. Maybe there was one other guy. Corey Seager, just a great player. Love his work ethic, just goes about his business, and he's just clutch. Just a clutch player. In big moments, he's the guy that you want up. Doesn't matter how things are going for him in the game up to that point. Just the guy you want up with the game on the line. So Corey Seager, probably my favorite Texas Ranger, I would say, no doubt. Thanks for that comment and question. So let's go to a few big things. Let's take a little break from the box score. Let's go to a few big things. So the Alvarez hit by pitch, these two teams are always going to be a little bit tense with each other. To be fair to Brock Burke, I don't know if he was trying to hit Alvarez. He did go high and tight back-to-back pitches and then ultimately did hit him on the second high and tight. But they did go high and tight to Dolly a couple of different times in that at-bat. Wyatt Langford did get hit. Don't think the Wyatt Langford HBP was intentional by any means, but I will say I definitely think that it's very easy in a series like this for things to get taken personally, regardless of what was intended. So we'll see how things carry over. We'll see how things carry over into the next couple of games. But Adolis getting hit, maybe. I don't know. Are they coming after him on Saturday or Sunday? We'll see. They did come high and tight a couple of times, but Dolly is just a freaking Astros killer, man. Just an Astros killer. He just loves playing in this ballpark as well. I mean, he'll kill him at home, but just this ballpark, the juice box, he just loves playing at Minute Maid. Just loves it. What was he tonight? 2 for 3 with 2 walks and 2 RBI. 315 average, raising it up. Adolis Garcia, Astros killer. I mean, every time he's up in that ballpark, I just assume he's getting a hit. Every time he's up, I just assume that's what's coming. And pretty much tonight, that's what happened for him. Save one at bat, man. He had a couple of very, very solid RBI singles, drove in a couple of runs, drove in the first run of the game. Dolly. And the dude just loves playing in Houston, loves playing the Stros. I think I talked last weekend. It seemed like for the longest time, we really lacked that player that just had a killer instinct against a team like Houston. And Adolis Garcia just has it. I mean, you always felt when we went into Houston, I'm talking 2010s, even late 2010s, it's like, oh, how are we going to do? Are the bats going to come to play? Is this going to end with a sweep? We all kind of had those doubts at times in the 2010s when they went into Houston. And even, a couple of years ago, 3-4 years ago, but ever since Dolly has stepped into this role with the Rangers, man, and of course since the postseason last year, you just never doubt what he's going to do in these games. I mean, I'm sure it's baseball. He's going to have an offer at some point against them, but it is sure fun just watching this ride he's on right now, just dominating the Astros. And you can even kind of tell, like tonight, I had sound pumped up as loud as I could, just trying to get crowd noise. I know I'm kind of weird, but I like those little things about the game. But it seemed like, yeah, he was getting the boos, but they just kind of knew what was coming. I felt like just the crowd reaction. It just seemed like when he got up to bat and when he was kind of working the at bat into his favor, and then he finally would come through with the hit, there's just that groan because they just know, man. They just getting their butt whooped by Dolly. Love it. So 2 for 3 tonight for Dolly. Looks like Josh Smith, 1 for 3, 2 runs scored. Langford, 1 for 3. We talked about him. Heim was 1 for 5. But, of course, the one was the big home run bomb to bust things open. Jonah Heim with a mammoth blast to right field, 104 miles an hour off the bat. Walsh goes 1 for 5 with 2 RBI. Made a great play, by the way. We were live when it happened, but Jared Walsh, great play. I think it was on an Alvarez hit, just smoked in the 8th inning. Made a great play to get out of the 8th inning. Well, Jared Walsh didn't realize he had that glove on him. I know these are major league players, but I mean, I'm expecting Nate Lowe to make plays like that, but I love seeing that from Jared Walsh. And he's filled in serviceably for Nate Lowe, who, by the way, is with Double-A Frisco tonight. Would love to see how he did. I don't know if any of y'all know that are watching right now how Nate Lowe did in his first rehab assignment game. with Frisco, but I would love to hear how his night went. I know that the big news in the Rangers minors right now is Leiter. Jack Leiter, of course, one of the Rangers' top draft picks a couple years ago, along with Kumar Rocker and Brock Porter. That whole just outstanding stud pitcher draft class. I know Kumar Rocker's coming back from injury, but we've got Jack Leiter pitching very well. 6 innings tonight, 10 Ks, 3 hits. All of them were home runs, solo shots. But good to see him turning in a quality start with 10 Ks. Jack Leiter turning things around after a rough 2023 season. Love to see it. Love to see it. I'm looking at some YouTube comments right now. Nelly Cruz, 2010, 2011 teams, did feel like he had that killer instinct as well. I like that. He absolutely was one of those players you felt like had that. I'll never forget that ALCS against the Tigers. It was the same feeling. For those of y'all that remember 14 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it was, never was a math guy, but Nelly Cruz, every time he came up against the Tigers in that ALCS, it felt like the ball was leaving the park. I mean, it's the same feeling with Dolly here in Houston. You just feel like every time he comes up to bat, something good's going to happen. Let's segue to this. Is the Major League Baseball Umpires Union just the best union in the nation, in the world? Because how do some of these guys continue to keep their job being so terrible at it? In every other profession, I feel like if you were this bad at your job, you'd be fired. But Angel Hernandez continues to keep his job year after year with probably making some of the worst calls in baseball. And I know he gets picked on, maybe rightfully so, but the calls that he made tonight, I know some of y'all saw that Wyatt Langford at bat. That was ridiculous. The dude didn't swing at one pitch. And that last pitch to him, the 5th pitch, where he got rung up, my goodness. That ball was like probably a foot outside. I wish I was joking. I just don't even know how you can't go to, at minimum, a challenge system. I know I ranted about this a few nights ago, so I'm not about to bore y'all again, but at least go to a challenge system. Come on, that would have taken 2 seconds. Yeah, challenge it. Yeah, that's a ball. Okay, go back about your business. That was just terrible. Angel Hernandez, man, I really don't know how that man continues to have a job year after year being so bad. I mean, really. And for me, with a guy like him, and with some umpires in general, some umpires I think are cool. They're humble. They definitely will admit when they got something wrong. I forget who it was, what the circumstance was, but there was an umpire that I saw. I don't know if it was against the Yankees but basically he made a bad call and he went and apologized to the pitcher after the inning was over. Like that for me is how it should be. But just what I take away, I don't obviously know Angel Hernandez personally, but dude just seems arrogant, like arrogantly bad at what you're doing. Like just a terrible combination. Not only are you consistently making bad calls, but you're making them very arrogantly too. Like you're actually good. Like, dude. So look, the challenge system, I really feel, and Aaron, you're going to have to trust me on this one, brother. I really feel I've seen it in play in the minor leagues here in Vegas. We have a AAA team, the A's affiliate. Really doesn't take that long. It's 10, 15 seconds at the most. Everybody just stands in the box or on the mound. They rule it ball or strike, or they rule the challenge successful or not, and they just pitch the ball about 5 seconds later. I really don't think it's going to slow things down that much. Now, if you had like unlimited challenges, sure, but I'm sure every batter will get some, or however it goes. I'm not 100% on what the rule is in the minor leagues with the balls and strike challenges. That's a good one to look up while I'm talking. If somebody knows, chime in. But balls and strikes challenge in the minors, how many do you get? That's kind of what we're talking about right now. And would it really slow down the game that much? So we'll see. I'm trying to look it up as we go, but how do the automated balls and strike system work? Each team gets one challenge per half inning. 1 through 6, use it or lose it. 7 to 9 and extras, each team gets 2 per half inning. Interesting. So here's what the breakdown is. This was a Reddit post I'm reading here from 2 months ago. So automated balls and strike challenge system, each team gets 1 challenge per half inning. For innings 1 through 6, use it or lose it. 7 through 9 and extras, each team gets 2 per half inning. Interesting. So there it is. That could be, I think, a system that actually isn't going to be half bad. Just my 2 cents. So with that, let's keep things rolling here. So a little bit of a look around the AL West and what we have going on for the rest of the teams. Angels did win 7-0. So they stay a half game back of the Rangers. It was good to get the win tonight. Angels would have taken over first place without a Rangers win. So Rangers maintain their first place position. We'll take a look at a couple other games going on. Looks like Mariners tonight are winning 4-0 against the Cubs at the moment. And let's see what the A's are doing. They were playing the Nationals. It is currently 1-0, a familiar score for the A's in the bottom of the 7th. So this might be a night where the Rangers really, really needed to get things done and get a win. Might be a night where that definitely needs to happen. So, or needed to happen, I should say. So I will say the Rangers are probably going to have to get at least 2 out of 3 in this one to stay afloat in first place. You know, we'll see what happens, but obviously I hate having to depend on other guys on other teams to get things done. Hopefully the Rangers can just get a sweep and we'll call it a day. But it's good to get the first win in the series. Always a good thing. Now, previewing the matchup for tomorrow, we talked about it a little bit. Heaney going against Blanco. Blanco, of course, no-hit the Rangers for a significant amount of time. I think it was 6 innings before Dolly came through. So we'll see. Does Blanco have the ability to go back-to-back with the Rangers shutting them down? I don't know. I think that's a tough task. I don't know what the stats are. If I'm guessing, probably not great with what he did to us last time. Looks like Jankowski 1 for 3. Looks like Leote 1 for 3. Everybody else is hitting below 300 against him. So, man, I don't know. It could be dicey, but you know how baseball goes. You dominate a team, and then you come and face them 5-6 days later, and it's a different story. So Blanco scares me tomorrow as well. Hopefully the Rangers will jump on him quick. I think that's really what you've got to do tomorrow. Jump on Blanco quick, put up 1 or 2 immediately. The worst thing that could happen is another 2 innings of no-hit ball, 3 innings of no-hit ball, and then you're starting to have that snowball effect, right? But I think the Rangers are going to continue to swing the bat well. I think they like playing in this ballpark. I really do. And I think that it's going to be hard for Blanco to repeat the same performance. Maybe he'll still end up pitching a quality start. Would be really surprised if he goes 6 no-hit innings once again. Just me. Now, with the Rangers and Heaney, I think these are some big starts for Heaney coming up here. Because you have Heaney not really having pitched outstanding the past couple of starts. And you've got some guys that are starting to come back for the Rangers. Lorenzen is going to be making his first start probably early next week when we play the Tigers. I think that's kind of what he's slotted to do right now. He had a rehab start last night. So Heaney, I think, is going to need to perform quickly if he wants to stay in the starting rotation. Now, does he really want to stay in the starting rotation? I don't know. I think a lot of these guys do. I don't know if John Gray initially, for example, loved that he went to the bullpen in the playoffs last year. I think the injury made it easier for him to accept because you guys know John Gray was injured for the second half, the last 2 months of the season, right, last year. So I'm sure it was a little easier for him to take that, but I can't imagine that these starters love getting sent to the bullpen. So if Heaney wants to stay in the rotation, he's going to have to start pitching well. I would not mind seeing this is an interesting comment here. Appreciate it. I would not mind seeing Heaney get traded. He is on the last year of his deal. I would only hesitate on trading Heaney because he does provide some good lefty relief, I think, down the stretch. So the Rangers have Latz, they've got Burke, and then they've got Bradford, and they've got Heaney. I think those are the 4 lefties, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I missed somebody. I don't know if they want to give up a lefty arm that could potentially match up in postseason play. They probably would want to have some options there, but I wouldn't mind them trading some pitching surplus in general to acquire somebody else at the deadline, whether that's a bat, whether that's another another relief pitcher, maybe to shore up the back end of that bullpen once and for all. I think that would be ideal. Can the Rangers go out, use some of their surplus starting pitching, and go get a shutdown 9th inning guy that throws 101, 102? Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, honestly. I think that there are going to be some odd men out with the rotation. You've got Scherzer ahead of schedule, probably coming back first. Tyler Mahle is coming back second. And then you've got DeGrom coming back last. When those 3 guys are back, you're going to have a surplus in the bullpen. You don't need all those guys to be bullpen guys for you, really. I mean, it's a nice luxury. But I'll tell you what, I think it's a good idea. Trade some starting pitching surplus, whether it's Heaney or somebody else. Get a shutdown closer, maybe at the trade deadline. Somebody maybe controllable for a year or 2. We'll see. Fastest pitch somebody's ever thrown. Shoot. What is it? Is it Chapman still at 106? I don't know if that record got broken. I know Chapman, young in his career, threw like a 106 almost. Maybe it was a 105 miles an hour. But I feel like somebody broke that or came close to it. So y'all let me know. I know 105 is like at minimum what the record is. Shoot, Miller for the A's yesterday, in that Seager at bat, in that Langford at bat, was pumping like 104. So there are a couple of guys that can get it up to that speed at this point. 104 though, 105. I mean, some of these guys amaze me with how fast they throw. Seriously, if the Rangers could get a guy like that though, that could throw, it doesn't have to be 103, 104, but give me a guy that throws 101, 102, and can just shut things down in the 9th. I think the Rangers really do need to make or consider a trade like that. Maybe some of the starting pitching surplus is a good place to start. We'll see what CY does. Of course, we're just shooting the breeze here as fans, but we'll see what the Rangers have in store as the season goes on. Now, a couple of other things. Wrapping up here, guys. Tomorrow, again, Blanco versus Heaney. And we're going to see what Bochy does with the lineup. I think that moving Langford back tonight was a helpful thing for him, obviously. And by the way, Wyatt Langford, I need to get on that dude's workout and diet regimen. That dude is an absolute tank, monster. Like, he took that hit by pitch, whatever it was in the 7th inning, and like, just didn't even feel anything. Like, seriously, elbow of steel. Wyatt Langford, man, get me on that dude's workout regimen. That guy is a tank. When they were comparing him to Mike Trout, just like the body type and just like the intangibles, like, seriously, I didn't really think that he was on that level, but that dude is built. Like, he didn't even feel that hit by pitch whenever it happened. So Wyatt Langford, man, we're still waiting on that first home run. It's coming, guys. That dude has some raw power. He's been missing, I feel like, some pitches that he could probably handle. But I think it's coming. And when it does, I'm just not going to be shocked if he just starts going off. once it finally clicks. By the way, I still got the Rangers post-game Bally up right now. Nate Lowe in his rehab assignment tonight goes 0 for 4. So no hits tonight. Look, no spring training. He's going to be shaking off some rust. So Nate Lowe not killing it in the debut, but look, nobody's hitting panic button. It's first game out. Dude's rusty. But hey, hopefully in Frisco, he'll be able to get things right and then come back to the Rangers maybe next week and contribute. So 105, by the way, is the consensus. It looks like in the comments, 105 miles an hour, fastest pitch. So we'll see if anybody can top that. Kind of doubt it at this point, but hey, maybe not. Maybe somebody's going to hit 106, 107 before it's all said and done. So with that, we are going to start signing off here, guys. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. I'll check comments real quick. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. But thank you so much to everybody that joined in. Josh, what's up? I'm looking at some Instagram comments right now. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate you. Let me check out YouTube here. Cool. Awesome, guys. Well, hey, we'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully in the middle of another Rangers beatdown of the Astros. That would be nice. We'll have a couple of videos out tomorrow for you. The system, betting 1 cent for every Facebook follower, goes, let's see, now up to 8-6 on the season. Think we're right around $27-ish of profit. We're big balling right now, high rolling with that profit on this system. So we'll see how it goes. Actually, this is going to be a nice series if the Rangers can win because they're actually underdogs in this series. So that should be a good opportunity for us to make up some ground after getting our butts kicked against the A's. Well, anyways, y'all, thank you again. Appreciate you. Hope all y'all have a great Friday, great Saturday. And we'll see y'all tomorrow again for Right on Rangers Live post-game after Game 15 against the Astros. And as we always say, guys, God bless and go Rangers. See y'all.